Hi guys, this is our last installment in cell organelles that you will be having for this unit. And you see I'm only going to use the plant cell side today because the two organelles we're going to learn about are only found in plant cells. So just to remind you, you do have to know all 5 of these others that apply to plant and animal cells. But these 2 new ones apply just to plant cells. All right, so let's go ahead and start with that. I want to remind you that all cells, plant and animals, do have a cell membrane, like what we see here rimmed in red, and it's in our animal cell too. A lot of people get confused and think plant cells don't have a cell membrane. They do. But in addition, what plant cells also have is this, what I've colored in brown here, called a cell wall. And a cell wall is a hard outer protective wall or coating that protects the plants from their environment. So think about it this way. If there was a forest fire, animals are able to run out of the forest. Plants cannot. So they need a really tough outer covering so their cells can still survive despite the fire. If there was a herd of buffalo coming at you, like a stampede, you would be running. But if you're the grass in the grasslands, you can't. You have to have this tougher outer coating that will protect you, and you'll be able to bounce back. So again, this outer protective coating called cell walls, and what it translates to that is wood. So the hard part of like a tree, once you cut the tree down, and it dries out, all what you see in color inside the cell membrane and within, that eventually just dries up. And with time, all you're left with is the outside of this. Okay? So cell wall, hard outer protective covering that plants have. We don't have that. We can run and escape. The other organelle that you're going to learn about today is the chloroplast. Okay, so chloroplasts contain a chemical called chlorophyll. That is what makes plants green. They contain chlorophyll. And chlorophyll is super important because inside of the chloroplast, it acts as a solar panel that gathers solar energy and uses it to convert the nutrients that the plant takes in and convert it to this sugar called glucose. So to make glucose, you need water, you need sunlight, and you need carbon dioxide. Those 3 ingredients together will make sugar that plants have. And where do they have that sugar? Well, they have it in the leaves, they have it in the stems. And so when that cow eats the grass, it's getting the glucose that the plant made. Now, the plants did not mean to make that glucose so animals could eat it and be happy and survive. Plants make glucose because they use it as well. They need glucose to make their roots grow. They need glucose to make new leaves or flowers or seeds, or just to, grow up or sideways. So plants, their plan was, we're going to make our own food using this chloroplast to feed ourselves. That's why they're called autotrophs. But along came animals and discovered they could eat the plants and it would give them energy from the glucose that they made. Okay, so the chloroplast, the more in the sun, something else, the more chloroplast it's going to have. If you take a plant that was in full sun and you put it in the shade, then it's going to stop making so many chloroplasts. It doesn't need them. There's not that much sun. If you suddenly take that same plant and now put it out in the sun, The plant is going to start making lots more chloroplasts because it's receiving a lot more sunlight, and it wants to take the opportunity to take that sunlight and convert it into this wonderful chemical named glucose. And guys, glucose is what feeds the whole world. If animals went away, the plants would be fine without us. But if plants went away, then everything on earth dies. Okay? This is what feeds everyone. Either you eat it directly as a heterotroph, or you eat the glucose when you eat the chicken that ate the glucose, etc., up the food chain. Okay? So the two organelles we talked about today, the cell wall, this hard outer protective covering, and the chloroplasts, these green organelles that have chlorophyll that are like solar panels that grab the sunlight and with water and carbon dioxide create this new energy source for the plant called chlorophyll. No, it's not. It's called glucose. Again, that's why I'm never going to be a YouTube star. Alrighty? If you have any questions about this, please let me know. But your final plant cell should look similar to mine. I colored in the yellow for the cytoplasm. And here's my final animal cell. And again, I just finished coloring it in. But don't forget to add these two labels down here for cell wall and chloroplasts only belong to plants. Thank you.